Welcome, movie watchers. Thank you guys for stopping by my channel. Today we're going to talk about the all-new animated Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie on Disney+. Greg Heffley dreams of being famous while surviving middle school with his best friend Rowley. So I've read a few of the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books when I was a teenager. I used to work at a daycare and we had like a reading group, so we read some of the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books together. I've seen all of the movies. I honestly think animated form is the best way to go when telling these stories because there is so many books. I have lost count, and if you continue using the same actor, you're going to run into the problem that they already did. They grow up pretty quick, and so keeping it animated, you can do as many as you want. This is a fairly short movie at only 58 minutes, and the books are short too, so it gets straight to the point, covers what it needs to cover, and doesn't add in all of that other fluff, all that unnecessary stuff, which we did get in some of those Diary of a Wimpy Kid movies. They're just a little there's a lot more in it to make it a feature-length movie. And so with this movie only being 58 minutes, you covered the whole entire story, not adding anything new and making sure you just hit what makes the book work so well. And I enjoyed this movie. I like the story of Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I think some of them are pretty enjoyable. What I like most about this first animated film, and I think they're going to do Rodrick roles again, that this one and the very first Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie are the same story, that first book. And what really focuses on this one is that Greg wants to be famous. He wants to be very popular at school. He wants to get in with the cool kids, and he's afraid of middle school as well. But he has his friend Rowley, who's very stuck in his ways. He's very childish. He hasn't really grown up, and Greg is trying to, show him how to grow up. But at its core, what makes this first story work so well is the story of friendship. And, even though your friends may not be popular, they are your friends, and you have to kind of accept that. And that's what Greg has to do, is accept that. Rowley may not be popular, but he is your best friend, and they do have a lot of fun together. And so by not adding in all of these other ridiculous moments within the first movie, you're really able to hone into that relationship between Greg and Rowley and why are they the best of friends, while also focusing on Greg wanting to be famous. They're trying these different things to be popular at school. It's a very simple story, and when I watched the first film the other day as well, it's not really a plot heavy film. It's a very simple story. The other ones dealt with a lot more, like the brother relationship in Rodrick Rules, going off to the country club in the other film, Dog Days, and the road trip for the long haul. This one is a very simple story, and it works for only being 58 minutes because there's not really much of a plot, rather than just, exploring middle school friendships and, trying to be popular as well. And watching the animated film, you realize how simple this story is because of how quick it runs through that 58 minutes. I was also really impressed with the animation in here. I like how it looks. It looks like the book brought into an animated form. They also utilize the pages from the book like they did in the live action movie, showing parts of the story. The animation is quite simple, but it works for this movie because it is exactly the same thing from the books. The one thing I liked from the live action movie is how Rodrick really had a presence in that movie. And he has that second movie really focusing on him. But even in that first movie, I liked him as a character. I thought he was really funny. And he's really not in this movie, this animated movie. And it's been years since I have read the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books. I think I read like 5 of them. It's been quite some time. I think almost like 10 years. But he's really not in it. And I can't remember if he was barely in that book, but I would like to see a little more of him and some of the other side characters as well. But like I said, it does really focus on Greg and Rowley and that relationship, the highs and the lows, them arguing, that scene where they're fighting and then they become friends again. You have the cheese touch, you have everything that makes that story work within here, and most of the scenes from that live action movie in here in an animated form. Just getting rid of some of the stuff that really didn't work from that movie is not in here. So this movie, if they continue to do maybe 1 or 2 or 3 a year in this really short form, I wouldn't mind it. It really got to the point quickly, focused on what they needed to do, grow the relationships, and that was about it in a decent animated form. It wasn't over the top silly like some of the other ones were. It is a kids animated movie based on a kid's books. There is going to be some silly moments thrown throughout, but for the most part, compared to the other ones, it's not as silly as those other films. So I was really happy with how this animated movie turned out. Not the best thing I've ever seen, but for a Diary of a Wimpy Kid story, it was fun. So before I give you my score for Diary of a Wimpy Kid on Disney Plus, make sure to check out my channel. Here I do movie reviews, trailer reactions, ranking videos, tier lists, all that fun movie related content that you see on YouTube. I do it all here, so hit that subscribe button to get it all in one spot. I'm going to go ahead and give Diary of a Wimpy Kid a B-. Thank you guys for checking my review for Diary of a Wimpy Kid on Disney Plus. Have you guys seen it? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below, and stay tuned for a ranking video of all the Diary of a Wimpy Kid movies. My name is Just Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.